Well, hello, guys. Thank you. I want to thank each and every one of you that have been watching and hanging with me. Today is our fourth, I believe, episode. And today we're going to be talking about bossing up. You know, my mom teased me a couple of days ago and she's like, why do you keep saying with no further ado? So I'm probably going to switch it up a little bit today. I have very interesting guests today. I am excited to bring them on because I think that each and every one of you out there, no matter where you are in your business journey, can learn a thing or two from them. So I'm going to go ahead and bring in my lovely guest today. My first guest today is Sheri Marshall. Welcome, Sheri. Woohoo!
Thank you so much. Thank you
How
for
are you
having
doing
me.
today?
I'm doing fine. I
That's
woke up
good.
with a little sinus going on this morning, but I knew I had your show. I had to get ready.
Yes, girl. I'm loving the blue, the hair, everything.
Thank you. You know I switch it up often.
Oh, I know you. My next today is Sean Anyanwu. Welcome, Sean.
Thank you. Thank you. It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure to be part of the show.
Gosh, I'm so excited. I have my two very good friends on. I'm just gonna catch everyone up on how I know these two lovely people here. Sheri Marshall is one of my mentors from the National Association of Black Accountants. That's how we met, NABA. And she has always been there for me. She's still there for me. Even if
Yes,
we don't say the same place, she's still
right.
there for me. And
Absolutely.
I love her so much. I love her journey. And, that is why I brought her on today because she's a full-time CEO and she's doing her thing in Austin, Texas. And I'm so proud of it.
Thank
Um,
you.
and Sean, he's my longtime friend. We've been friends for forever. I don't even know how long,
Very, very long
but
time. Family
I
friend.
know, right? And he has his 9 to 5, but he is a part-time CEO, so he has a side hustle. The reason why I brought both of them on is to show, because the conversation and the responses from both of them is going to be different. As a full-time CEO, Sheri is going to shed light on a bunch of very important things that a full-time CEO needs to be cognizant of. And as a part-time CEO, Sean is going to shed light on important things that, you know, individuals need to be cognizant of. So, you know, are you guys ready for this conversation?
Let's do it.
All right,
Yes, let's
now
go.
let's go. Let's go. Woohoo! I'm excited. Okay. So my first question today is I want to know the mission and the vision of your businesses, whether it's a side hustle or your full-time business. So I'm going to start with Sheri. Sheri, go ahead.
Okay, so do I tell you about both businesses?
Both of them.
Okay, so I'm going to start first with Best Choice Mobile Notary. The mission of that organization, my company, we actually go out and we close mortgage loans and we do general notaries for the public. My goal and mission is to train other ladies that are interested in the same goals, is to make extra money by going out, becoming a signing agent. So I formed that organization, which is called Texas Notaries. And I train them, and I'm sure we'll get into much more about that later. But my mission is just to train other ladies to become signing agents in Texas. The mission of Umoveit-We Clean It, commercial janitorial company, is we're dedicated to total commitment and excellence in cleaning, sanitizing, and killing any viruses such as the coronavirus. We exhibit a fairness and dedication and honesty, reliability, and respectability at all times as we serve. We're dedicated to our environment and to our green seal. We use green products for our janitorial services and our cleaning products.
That is beautiful, Sheri. Thank you for sharing all that beautiful.
It's quite amazing.
I know, right? She's been doing this for years. I
I
mean,
know. I can
Sheri,
tell.
how long have you been doing this for? Go ahead. Tell them.
16 years.
Woohoo!
Wow.
She's been
16 years. And I never thought I would get this far. Never in my wildest dream.
But look at you now.
Look at me
Look at you now. Exactly.
I don't consider myself anymore as a small business. I just call myself a business owner because we have graduated from small.
Yes. I mean, I see it on Facebook every day how you're going, and I see, like, I mean, a lot of students pass through Sheri from National Association of Black Accountants, and where I look at all the amazing things that we've done so far, and I'm sure she's proud. She's proud of each and every one.
You guys are doing amazing, and you had a good mentor.
Yes, still a mentor, always a mentor.
Yes.
Yeah, that's amazing. Okay, so Sean, tell us, shed some light on your mission and vision of your business. Go ahead.
Well, I do own a photography business, and it's called Mechatron Media. My vision is pretty simple and easy. We want to provide an enjoyable experience in front of a camera, as well as timeless photography that you can treasure for a lifetime. Simple put, I just want to make sure my clients are happy with the pictures they get. Want to make sure, during the time of the photo shoot, every experience streamlined and everything exciting at the same time. And we're able to provide you with, memories that you can cherish for as long as possible, as long as you're alive. So simply put.
That's awesome.
That is amazing.
So what?
I like photos.
I appreciate it.
That is amazing. I like photography. I like everything pictures. I like being in front of the camera, period. Okay.
That's the thing. Everybody enjoys being in front of the camera. They don't want they don't understand the work that goes behind the camera.
Right.
The part I do enjoy I enjoy that part the most compared to actually being in front.
Right.
Oh man, I know. So you guys have just said some wonderful things. So I'm sure people are wondering, what are some challenges that you have faced while starting a business? Whether it's your side hustle, whether it's a full-time job. What are some challenges that you faced as a part-time CEO, Sean? Go ahead.
Well, for me, in the beginning, it was all about balancing time between my work and also my photography. And trying to get into the photography part, most of the challenges I faced was trying to get clients. How can I market myself? How can I understand the industry? And as I learned a lot more, I had to understand that in order for me to differentiate myself from the competition, I couldn't just be a photographer. I had to understand, okay, where can I set myself apart? I had to learn how to be a retoucher. I had to understand composite photography. I had to make sure that some of the products that I'm putting out there is different compared to what the competition is doing. That way people are able to actually come towards me. And at the same time, you also want to understand the marketing side of the business, which was a struggle for me in the beginning. As I soon started to understand some of the Instagram algorithms and seeing how I can drive traffic from Instagram to my page, then my business started to pick up.
It's funny that you talked about that. Social media is a big thing now.
Yes, I was good. That will probably
go ahead. Tell us.
I'm going to address that later on the show. But to see the power that you have with social media and how once you understand the back coding and the algorithm that goes in the power of these tools and how you can actually utilize these tools to your advantage, it is very, 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 very beneficial. And before I actually got on the show, I was reading a quote that says, you can literally be on your phone and make $1 million.
Amen.
Or you can be on your phone and waste your life away. So it's all about taking the advantages of the tools that we have and seeing how we can actually use them to better make our business productive. So
that's amazing. It's good that you really shed some light on that. So Sheri, tell us, what are some challenges that you face as a full-time CEO? You've been doing this for 16 years, so I'm sure.
The challenges that I had when I first started the business was attracting and hiring and retaining quality employees that had my vision for my business. So I was going through employees like crazy. They didn't have my same vision. They didn't have my same drive. Even though we trained them, they just didn't have the drive that I was looking for. And I don't believe in keeping dead weight, I guess you could say.
I agree with that. I completely agree with that.
I don't have any need or want for dead weight. So I have to find someone that is driven and can learn and want to learn to do the business the way we want to, because the companies that we have are high-end companies, like Neiman Marcus, Prada,
Right.
Louis Vuitton. We have high-end clients, so they have a high expectation for us when it comes to cleaning and appearance. Even though we do custodial work, you still gonna come to work looking like $1 million.
Exactly.
They always say you dress for the job you want, not for the job you
Amen.
have. So I had shirts made so that they could be uniform. So I had to, get a few things together as well. And when we did that, and then I just had a come to Jesus meeting with a lot of them. We just had to sit down and talk about it and say, hey, is this really the job that you want? If not, just let me know, because, there's so many people looking for a job. You got retirees, you got students out there. They're looking to learn a trade, because I don't only just bring them in to do janitorial work. I train them to be foremen and to run one of my stores for me, because I'm not going to always be there. And if I can't be there, I want someone that I can trust to go around and make sure that the work is getting done properly. As we say, I don't want a half-ass job done.
Amen. I mean, Sheri, like, that's amazing. And you know what? I'm smiling because I just think about the NABA slogan, lifting as you climb. Right?
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's more of a communal legacy than an individual legacy. That's what I think about in my head. And
Exactly.
that's what you're training for.
Yes. And,
Amen.
a lot of the people that I've trained from many years ago, they wanted to start their own business. I helped them. I'm a mentor. I'm just not a CEO. CEO does more than just be a CEO. You mentor people. You show them how to get their business started. It's enough work around here for everybody. And so those people that decide, well, I'm not going to show somebody how to do what I do, I think that's ridiculous.
Yeah. There is one question. I want to ask a question before I go to the next question that I had sent to you guys. The question I want to ask is it safe to say that it's better to go into business alone than with other, or to go into business with other people? So to collaborate or go as an individual and build yourself first. Sean, go ahead.
I think it's a half and half situation. It all
Why
depends
did
on
you
what
breathe
kind of.
so hard?
I mean, because I've been through,
through.
I've been through both situations before. So I mean, it's a half and half situation. It depends on the industry. Depends on what you're trying to go into. If you have a partner, it's always easier that way. Someone who shares the vision, maybe someone who's better in a specific field. Take for example, let me just say photography. If I have a specific partner who is fantastic at marketing and social media, while I can actually handle the photography side, he can handle that side. It makes it a whole lot easier and actually can progress you a whole lot faster compared to if you're doing it by yourself. So it all boils down to the industry that you're in. How much sacrifice is going to be needed from you. So again, there's no right way specifically to say it. If you have somebody that you trust and that both of you share
That's
the
the thing.
vision. That's the thing, is trust. And you
Yeah.
guys share that vision, that goal, and you have the drive. So it's not just someone who's just with you just because they're trying to make money, but that both of you share that passion. And yes,
Yeah.
if not, just do it yourself, because you trust yourself at the end of the day. So
Sure, what do you think?
I agree with him wholeheartedly. I think that if you're starting a business with someone, maybe, but you have to have that same drive and vision and the goal. My husband is my partner. I couldn't ask for a better partner in the world, because we have the same drive. We have the same vision. I mean, we gonna go get it. If we see something or a contract that we want to go after, like right now, we're working on the big Tesla. I have all the Teslas here in Austin. So the big Tesla is coming here. You think I'm not trying to jump on it? I'm gonna be all over it. Amazon is coming here. I'm gonna be all over it. So we know the goals. Now we're just trying to find how and what. I've already pretty much taken care of Tesla, so I'm not too much worried about that one, because any Tesla that comes into in this area, Austin Metro, it's mine anyway, because of the company that I deal with, which is I guess you call them their facilities maintenance company that has all these companies here in the Austin metro area. Those are I'm their go-to girl. So I'm not worried about those.
Okay.
So yeah, I don't think that I have been approached many times about this person is starting up a business. You guys should partner. I'm like, really? Are you serious? I've worked 15 years and then I'm going to share with somebody else. That is never going to happen.
You don't know. Exactly.
I'm sure
I love it.
Yeah, I just, no, I couldn't do it. I won't do it. And, I didn't put it to him that way. I just said, no, I've been in business so long. My husband is my business partner. And, I'll tell him anything that I think that, would help them. But as far as going into business with them, I could never see that happening.
Yeah, I mean, you guys are talking facts, because, when I started, You Can't Stop, Step Up, I just wanted to do it on my own. And it's not because I don't want to collaborate. It's because I want to get good at it. I want to be so good. I want to be the best. Oh, thank you, Ugo. I want to be the best. I want to really, like Sean said, you want to be good. You want to be not just any kind of good, but the best, And so sometimes it takes you going in by yourself, threading that water, maybe drowning a little bit, coming back up, maybe even going all the way to the bottom, coming back up, to kind of figure it out and figure out what works, right? And so I hear you. And I'm not saying collaboration is bad.
Right.
Collaboration is a beautiful thing. But again, you have to be sure that everybody, aligns, or everybody's behavior or characteristics align with whatever it is that you're trying to do.
Right.
Right. And that's so true. So that leads me to my next question. A bunch of business owners are probably watching this. So my next question is, what are some mistakes that you wish you had avoided when you started your business? Sheri, go ahead.
Well, I tried to do it. I was the bookkeeper. I was the marketing person. I was the CEO. I was the secretary. I did it all. It drove me crazy. So I got me a CPA. I got me an accountant. You can't do it all. It's just too much trying to be the foreman. So I needed to separate the duties that I was doing to run my business, especially once you get 22 employees, it's time to get somebody to help you.
Delegate, exactly.
Yeah.
Have to get a team.
Yes.
Yes, I hear you.
I was very picky about that as well. That didn't come easy either, because I was so used to watching my own money. I'm one of those I know how to watch my money, and I still do. I don't just let somebody handle my books and me not know what's going on. That's not going to happen either. Right. I want to know where my funds are going. I want to, my taxes is being paid quarterly and all that good stuff. I want to know that it's being done. I want to know how much you're paying. So I'm going to always ask you to let me see my books, because I've heard about football players, the rappers and all that losing their money because they don't watch it. They just have somebody else to watch it for them. And then they wind up broke. How does that happen? How do you wind up broke and you made all that money?
I know. It's surprising.
It's surprising.
Yeah, it's funny you say that, because I think a lot of people, when they start, they're very cognizant of, they're dotting the I's and crossing the T's. They're looking at where their money is going, where it's coming from, right? And then the moment they become rich, it's like, okay, time to relax,
Yes.
And then what happens is that people start taking and stealing from you, and you don't even know.
Right.
Exactly.
So as a business owner, it's very important to watch where your cash inflow, your cash outflow.
Yes.
flow, pretty much. That's
Absolutely.
the most important books, in
That's
my
right.
opinion.
Yep. I don't know anything else. I know accounting.
Right. I know. If I
Where's the
don't know
money
anything else
going?
in accounting, that is the
Exactly.
book that you should be looking at: the cash
Yes.
inflow and cash outflow.
Yes.
I mean, honestly, Sean, what do you think? Tell me.
I mean, the same. I feel the same way too. Most mistakes, I won't say. So I'll rephrase it this way: I made the mistakes of trying to do it yourself, do everything yourself. But
Mhm.
however, will I say I will still do it again? Because those mistakes that I made has put me in a position to where I am today. So if I
Yes.
didn't learn those things, yeah, I won't be doing the things that I'm doing. I won't be able to train and
Absolutely.
delegate people. So yeah, the same
Hmm.
thing she mentioned is the same thing I went through, but I'll do it
Absolutely.
over again if I was
Yeah,
to do it again. Yeah. So.
yeah. You know, at some point during this year, I was taking a real estate class, and they were talking about like the power team. You have
Hmm.
to put a power team together. You can do
Hmm.
it all by yourself in any form of business, right? You
Yeah.
have to have your CPA, maybe your wardrobe manager, your makeup artist, your, just to, I mean, to put on a whole, my producer, Nadia,
Hmm.
my sister's keeper, I mean, she's the one putting up the whole show. I can't do it all by myself. I really,
Exactly.
I can produce a show on my own,
Right.
because you need all those people that are experienced to be able to put you in that light that you want to be put. And
Sure.
so, I hear what you guys are saying. Thank you, Roxy.
Yeah.
Selective with who you choose to work with. That is the key.
Absolutely.
That is
Yeah,
very key,
It's
especially.
cute.
very important.
Mhm. It's very,
Very
very, especially in the photography industry. You want to be selective of the kind of people that your hairstylist, your makeup artist, the kind of people that you're having on your team, even though they're not necessarily working under you. You know, the experience travels. So it's always good to have that experience on your team. And so when you actually do produce this lovely picture and you actually publish who was actually part of the team that's done it, it gives you
Hmm.
some form of credibility to go with it. So
Amen. Amen. So what do you guys think? I hear what you guys are saying. I think a power team is very important. But then
mhm.
what of in terms of how much it is that they charge, like their charge? How do you balance the amount of money that they're asking you to pay, especially as a startup, right?
Mm.
The amount of money that they're asking you to pay versus you not even making any money. This is a new business, but you want to be you want to put your best self out there. How do you work with that? Eric, go ahead.
Well, are you talking about how we bid out our jobs?
I'm talking about like, the power team that you're talking about. If you're going to get a
Oh,
CPA, you have
okay.
to pay the CPA. If
Yeah.
you get a photographer, you have to pay the photographer,
Yeah.
right? So how do you balance that as a startup?
Well, I've interviewed them myself. I interviewed three CPAs, three bookkeepers, three companies that handle all the books for you. And I wanted someone that did the payroll. I needed somebody to do my quarterly taxes, and I had a list of things, and then I priced them out. In interviewing those three people, I priced them all out to see who would give me a better deal and who could do everything that I needed done. And that's the way I went. And I also went with the more economic one
Mm,
that I could afford to pay for, because I didn't get anything that I couldn't afford to pay for. And some of them were just, the prices were astronomical, and I wasn't going to pay that either. Because if I was going to spend out more money than I was really wanting to, then it wasn't worth it for me. So I did find one that was it was affordable, and so I went with them. That's how I
mm.
chose. I interviewed them myself.
So
And
you
one,
so you interview three of everybody that you're
yes.
okay. That's a good way to look at it. I think so.
Mhm.
That's very interesting, actually. I didn't even think about it that way, but it
Yeah,
makes a
because
lot of
you when you put it out there, telling folks what you want, all these companies that handle payroll, it was payroll.com, payroll here, it was all kind. I didn't know it was so many. And they all call you.
Hmm.
I finally had to say, hey, I found somebody, stop calling me, because I still get emails from those companies. How's it working out with the company you chose? So they're out there and they will negotiate with you. If you tell them you can't pay this amount, they'll still bug you and say, oh, well, we can do it for this amount. And so it worked for me. I did find someone that could handle everything I needed.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
And including your 1099s sent out for your
Right.
employees. So they
Right.
handle everything. I don't have to do any of that anymore. And
That's
that freed
that's
me
it.
up so much. It freed me up a lot.
Freed you up to go get more business. Look at you talking about owning Tesla.
Absolutely. That's exactly what it
I
freed
mean,
me up to do.
you're getting more business, and I'm over here sitting. Wow, Tesla is okay. Hey,
Hey,
I
that's
I mean,
tough.
mean,
huge.
I know, right?
That's
Sean,
pretty cool.
what about you?
For me, my line in my industry, I mean, it's so when I was starting up, it was easy for me to get similar people who kind of share the same interests who are actually starting up as well. So it was easy for me to get some amateur makeup artists who had a vision, who were good at their craft, but still trying to build a portfolio. So it's easy to work with those kind of people and not having them charge me for anything because I'm helping them build a book of business at the same time.
Mm,
There you go.
But yeah, but as I've actually grown, it's and known around the DFW area, I'm able to work with a whole bunch of experienced makeup artists, which it's part of the package I offer to people. So I don't have to pay them for anything. We just tag that along. Hey, this is the makeup artists we have. This is their work. Which one do you have? They charge $60 an hour. That's part of your package. So it's easy for just tag those prices up on your overall price. So I don't have to worry about having to pay them or thinking about money in terms of everything. I just keep my own coins.
Yeah, I know that's right.
look at this part-time CEO talking
Yeah,
about.
That's what I'm talking about. Yes, indeed.
exactly.
I love it. I love it. You
Mhm.
know, it's funny because it's funny you say that. A lot of people on social media, one thing, some of these packages that they have out there for free, they always say, look at the same person or look for the same person that is going at your same rate, and try to work with them so that you
Exactly.
guys can build together. So it's like it's almost like that's a form of payment. A lot of people think
Hmm.
payment is only I pay you cash, right? But payment can also be I'm gonna help you build your business, so you're gonna
Hmm.
help build my business. That kind of,
Exactly.
and then you guys build together. I see that more so with part-time CEOs trying to work with people and trying to, make some deals to kind of collaborate
Hmm.
ish to try to build together. But I
Hmm.
think full-time CEOs is like I'm doing like this is it. And sometimes there's some full-time CEOs that will collaborate, but I think it's more towards the part-time CEOs than the full-time CEOs. Sheri, what do you think? Is that a correct statement to make?
That's a correct statement.
Okay.
I would think so.
Okay.
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 Right.
So you know what's funny? Someone was asking me like, how does the what do you need to be able to run a business in Texas in terms of paperwork, right? Oh my God, I know Texas has a gazillion paperwork. I just finished filing my sale and use tax,
Yeah.
and I was like, is there any more tax left? you know.
Right.
Hmm.
So why don't you tell us, Sheri, like what one needs to do to be able to start a business in Texas, since you're based in Texas?
Okay. Well, the first thing you need to know is what you want to do. And then you need to either go online or go to the tax assessor's office to get a DBA. And that DBA is the business that you're doing your name up under, and to make sure that no one else has that name. And then you need, well, before you do that, you need a EIN, which is employee identification number. And then you get your DBA. You need to open up your bank account because you need some place to put all that money that you intend to make in that account. Then you need to, depending on what kind of business you have, you want to interview employees. Even if you're starting out with one employee, that's going to be your right arm. Or if you're in business with your spouse, like I am as my right arm, you want to identify that person, and you want to set some boundaries and establish some rules and who's doing what, um, segregate the duties of who's doing what. And so you don't want everybody doing the same thing and going for the same goal, I guess. Um, so those are the main three things that you want to do in starting a business. You want to get your DBA, you want to get that EIN number, you want to get a bank account set up, and then of course you want to identify that person that you want to work with, because you will need a partner if you're starting up a business that requires one. Like Sean, he has a photography business. You don't necessarily have to have a partner. It just depends on what type of business you have. Some business like a CPA firm or something like that, you don't need a business partner. It just depends what it is.
That's so true. So I heard you talk about DBA, so doing business as. That's the definition.
Yes.
So do you think it's a DBA or an LLC that is better?
It depends on the business and what you want. You can be a sole proprietorship when you first start out. I say when you first start out, depending on what you're doing, some people try to take it to the extreme, and then they will come right back down this way. You go high, you're gonna go low. Okay. And I'm saying it in a whole different term. Start out small.
Mm-hmm.
That's where a lot of people, I think, make their mistake. They want to be an LLC. Really? You don't even know what you're doing yet.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. You can always change it. You don't have to start out up there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's my perspective of it. You don't have to start out as an LLC or a corporation. You can start out as a sole proprietorship.
Yeah, I think a lot of people run to LLC, including myself, because of the liability, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, when you talk sole proprietorship,
I think that's overstated. I really do.
You think it's overstated?
I do.
Sheri, that's a conversation for another day.
Yes.
Because we talk about that.
She has the experience, so you know.
Yes.
Yeah, she's 16 years. Yeah, I mean, I'm learning too. Sean, what do you think?
I don't know. I'm with her too, because I kind of made the same mistake as well around to the LLC. But at the same time, you just have to know what you're doing, and it's the industry that
you do. You really do.
Do you want to? And it's fine to start off small, and as you grow, then you can think about moving on to where you want an LLC or an S corp or whatever you want. So.
Yeah, I think I think again, like I said, people just run to the LLC because of the liability purposes, and but I can see where you guys are coming from. But again, like you said, you got to know your business, know what it is that you're stepping into, because maybe a sole proprietorship might be better for you, right? And maybe an LLC might be better for you. It all depends on what it is that you're doing. Right. So it's really what works for your business, and not just because people are saying, oh, LLC, all the liability is not on you. And then you're like, oh yeah, let me go register as an LLC. But then you have all these taxes coming your way, and you're like, wait, why am I paying up this? Exactly. That's what you signed up for. That is so funny, but it's true. It's very true, because I see that a lot. Because I've joined like a bunch of business groups on Facebook, and I know that one of the things that they ask is that question. That question keeps coming up over and over again. LLC versus sole proprietorship, or LLC versus DBA, LLC versus that, or LLC versus corp. And I'm like, you got to know what is right for your business.
Yep.
But the LLC, you don't have that much liability. However, you just got to be sure what it is that you're doing. Okay.
Agreed.
So
you gotta have to get insurance too. With my business, I have to be insured and bonded, and you have to know who to go to for it.
Okay. Can you tell us more?
Yes, I use Farmers Insurance. My agent for 16 years has been Janie Mormon. She's here in Austin. She is the best. Any contract that I get, you have to have your certificate of liability with them, with workman's comp and everything on it. I shoot her an email, shoot her the example that the company has sent me, shoot it to her. I have it back that evening, because without it, I cannot go to work.
Right.
And she's just phenomenal. The prices are reasonable. I pay for liability and workman's comp. Prices are not astronomical at all. They're very affordable. I pay them once a month. I love Janie. Anything I ask her for, she makes sure it happens. But you need to have your good insurance agent.
It's a
Right.
great example about building an effective team. That's like we were
Yeah.
talking about before. When you find other people who can help streamline your business for you, it
Yes.
Right.
makes everything very simple and easy.
Yes.
Streamlining. Streamlining is important. If not, you're gonna burn out. I mean, we don't want to burn out. I mean, if we just start a business, you don't want to burn out. But if you don't
Yes.
No,
streamline
absolutely
your
not.
processes,
Right.
then
The only way I feel like you'll burn out if you keep things the same consistently. You got to change some things. You got to add some things
Agreed.
every single year.
wow. So things have to keep changing.
You
Mix it
need to
up.
change things. When I started out in residential cleaning. Now I'm commercial
Right?
cleaning. Residential, I'm like, what?
Anybody
Are you
about that?
serious? Residential, you work more in somebody else's house than you do in your own.
Hello.
They don't have, I'm not cleaning it either. And so I found out early on that was not for me.
Cheryl
And
stepped
so,
up. That's what she did.
oh yeah, I had to step it up. We added carpet cleaning, we added window cleaning, we added buffing, waxing, stripping. We have added everything that you could possibly think of. And so that helps boost your money that's coming in, your bottom line. So if you go to a company and they want you to do all that, we have companies moving in here from California and they want historically underutilized Black business. And we get them all simply because of that we do everything. They said, well, do you clean windows? I said, yeah, I have a window cleaner. Do you buff? I said, yeah, I have a buffer. Do you strip? Yeah, I have a stripper.
You got
But I
everything.
got to strip and wax floors. But we have it all. We have
That
a
is
carpet cleaner.
that's amazing. It's amazing you say this, and it's amazing that both of you actually, agree on this because a lot of people that are in business always says, add some new things, add some new
You got to
features.
add new things.
Yeah, because then it shows you're growing. If you're
Yes.
just in the same spot for forever, I mean, it doesn't really show any form of growth process, in my opinion.
Right. So during the pandemic, for instance, we had to
Right.
pivot. And now we
Exactly.
do fogging. We go in with our zoot suits on, our mask, our shield, our booties, gloves, and we have a fogger and we go in and we fog buildings. You're
Ooh,
talking about an astronomical amount of money that you can make doing that.
Exactly.
right.
You saw an
So
opportunity
we
where a lot
fog,
of
we
people.
spray, we kill coronavirus.
You killed the virus. You're like, go away. I
Yeah.
love it.
So yeah, we get a lot of calls for disinfecting buildings, churches, especially when someone comes up positive in one of the buildings. We're not taking any chances. So told Dwayne, let's suit up. Let's suit up and go get it.
I
So
love it.
yeah.
It's so good because I know Sheri and I know her husband too, and I mean they're amazing. They're hardworking couples. I'll tell you that. They constantly hustling. I love it. I love it. I mean,
46 years.
huh?
46 years.
46 years. Wow.
Hey, I got nothing on that page. To say I'm not
That's
even
amazing,
up
bro.
to
That's amazing.
five. Not to talk about.
Yeah, that's
Uh, I'm getting there. I'll get there soon. I'm behind
good.
you a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
A little, just a tiny little bit. So I want you guys to share. I know a lot of people that say that if they're not an entrepreneur, they think that they're doing something wrong, right? So I guess my next question is: does everyone have to be an entrepreneur?
Mm.
Sean, why don't you lead us in question?
My answer is no. Everybody should not doesn't have to be an entrepreneur. I have a saying where you do what makes you happy and you be the best at the field that you're in. So if you're a doctor, be the Michael Jordan of doctors. If you're an artist or a musician, or heck, if you're working at a grocery store, be the best at what you're doing. You don't necessarily have to be an entrepreneur to establish anything. It's not for everybody. It's not the lifestyle for everyone. Just like me being a doctor is not the lifestyle for me, or me being A lawyer is not a lifestyle for me. I pick what fits you and what makes you happy, and just go with it. Don't worry too much about what people are thinking or what people are saying. Everyone's not always going to agree with what you decide to do. Just do what you feel is necessary for yourself and what makes you happy. And if that's not being an entrepreneur, then don't do it. That's how I feel.
So just to piggyback on what you said. So I use
Mhm.
but how do I know what works for me if I don't try?
That's the thing. Try. I'm not if you don't have to force yourself to be an entrepreneur because everybody says you have to be an entrepreneur. So if you try it out and it's just not working for you, then move on to something else. The beauty about life is we get to experience different things. So experience as much as you can. Try everything, if almost everything, if you can try everything, and see what sticks for you. And once you find that thing that sticks, just hone into it and hone into the craft and just be the best at what you're doing. Figure it out. Even though that's why I tell people, if you're starting a business or if you're starting anything, you have to be very passionate about it. And that, when you have passion, that means you're driven and you want to do something. So if you don't have that, you get burnt out quick. So if you're just going into entrepreneurship just to make money, it's not going to last. I've been a photographer here in the Dallas area for 6+ years now. My first year, 2 years, I didn't make any money. But I kept on going with it. I kept on trying and seeing what's going to work. What can I try? Why? Because of my love for taking pictures and my love for photography. So if it doesn't work for you, move on to the next thing and just find that passion, find that drive and that want. And that's how I feel.
Sure, what do you think?
I agree. Everyone should not be an entrepreneur. First of all, some people can't even stick with one thing that they're doing already.
Exactly.
And they may, if they want to, I say the same thing as Sean did, try it. But everyone doesn't have the passion. Everyone is not going to stick with what they're doing. They're not driven enough to do it. They piggyback and bounce back too much. They don't stick with one thing. The next thing you know, they want to get out of that and get into something else. I have friends that have multiple streams of income, as they call it. Um, I, I have a problem with people that do too much, because this week you're doing this week, next week you're doing this, next week, next month, next year, you're doing something entirely different. And if people kept a record of what they're doing, they would see that pattern.
Yeah.
You're going to have to stick with something.
Right.
And, add to the one business that you have. Quit starting a lot of businesses, but when I told you add to it, add to the scope of work or add to what you're already doing. But stop creating all these businesses. It gives everybody a bad look at you.
Hmm.
That, well, she's not going to stick with that. She's not going to stick with this. So if you're going to be an entrepreneur, add to and not keep starting over of what you're doing.
That makes sense.
And just to
That makes
piggy,
sense.
just to piggyback, yeah, just like you said, everybody wants multiple streams of income. Just
Yeah.
scale your business.
Yes,
That increases the amount of money you're going to be making anyway.
exactly.
So
Just add to it.
add to it. So it's a great point you just made.
So now I'm curious. So is there an age to try out? Like,
Yeah.
I've had people say, "Oh, do it in your 20s." Oh, dang, if you're 30 and you're doing it, you're kind of wasting your time. I'm like, what is all this thing that society puts on us? Like, what do you think, Sean?
Well, it goes back to what I said. You don't worry too much about what society says about you and just do what makes you happy. You have people who've literally went from working at a desk job and at the age of 40 are becoming millionaires, or at the age of 50 because they decided to start a business or move to a different career. So there's no set age, particularly on when you need to try anything. If something is just not working for you, change to something else, switch to
Yeah.
whatever is going to stick for you. So don't worry too much about society. Don't worry about what every other person is thinking, because you know what? You're not always going to please everybody, and you have to always have that
Right.
mindset.
Man.
So yeah, so just go with your gut, go what makes you happy. And if the job that you're working is making you uncomfortable, miserable, leave it,
Ah,
go somewhere else.
that's right.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You can't please everybody. If you please everybody, you're doing something wrong. That's
That's
for
right.
sure.
exactly, exactly.
Amen. Amen. Cherry, what do you think?
I
Is there
think
an
the
age?
same thing. I'm gonna agree with him again. I think that any age you can start a business. Now check this out. My granddaughter is 10. She started a business. She
Wow.
wanted me, I made her business cards. She got she got a computer. She's 10 years old. She's selling lip gloss, making lip gloss and selling it.
Okay.
Heaven is selling lip gloss.
Wow.
She said, I'm gonna be an entrepreneur. She said, I want my own business, Grandma. I want my own business. I need you to make me some business cards. I made her some business cards, and she's doing her
That's
thing.
good. She's starting young. That's good.
Yeah,
That's
good.
good.
So I think that if you have a burning desire to start a business of any kind, I don't think that everybody can, just like I said, but if someone has a passion, or they know, sewing, you may, there's a lot of people making masks. They are doing very well in selling those masks because there's a big demand right now.
Right.
So I say go for it if it's something that you want to do. And you just need to know how to perfect it. I say you need to research it. Anything you want to know nowadays is on YouTube. Any and everything.
Yes.
Is on YouTube.
There you go.
Research it. Find out who your competitors are. And then you want to do something different than what your competitors are doing. And that's what I did. When I started my business, I researched every one of the competitors in this area. And I made sure that I did something different. Even when we did the residential cleaning, we were the cleaning divas. We did not pack vacuum cleaners, mops, and brooms in our cars. I wasn't no vacuum cleaner, mop, and broom. You'll never see me walking in no place with a vacuum cleaner, mop, and broom. When I call my clients, I'd say, this is Sheri Marshall. We got a request that you wanted your home cleaned. These are the things you must have: vacuum cleaner, mop, and broom. If they don't have that, they don't need no house anyway. Come on, you guys. You don't have a vacuum cleaner, mop, and broom? They said, okay. One lady told me, she said, I have a pet. Should I get a vacuum cleaner for a pet? I said, yes, you should.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. And anyway, that was going in. I already knew that I wasn't hauling all that stuff in my car. We brought the cleaning supplies, not a vacuum cleaner, mop, and broom. First of all, it's unsanitary.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Not clean.
And I don't. I'm not, I shouldn't bring a vacuum cleaner, mop, and broom with that crap in it to your house.
Yep. You're right. You're right. And you brought up a good point. Like, even as a startup, whether you've started a business, whether you're thinking about starting a business, or whether you're established, right? Yes. There are certain things that you shouldn't just accept.
Exactly.
Right? Because people will want to tell you what they want to do. Human beings are so, should I say, they want something. Oh, listening from New York. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Human beings are so, should I say, I don't know the right word, but they want to tell you how they want to do things.
Oh, yeah.
And then you have to take that step back and be like, this is my business. These are my rules.
Right.
And don't be afraid. I guess, would you guys agree? Don't be afraid to say, no, I'm not going to do that.
Right.
Even if you're a small business, don't be afraid to say, this is a business. This is the way I operate my business. And if you're not in, then bye.
Right. See
yeah. I think once you allow people to take advantage of you, it becomes easy flow.
Yeah.
So you have to put your foot down, whether you're small or whether you're not. That's how you build respect, and you start to see the quality in your business, that you're not going to stand for anything, and this is what you want to get the job done, and they have to make sure it happens.
Yes.
And I also think communicating that particular point before you ever take a job with whomever, that you establish that up front. That way it won't be no understanding. The prices need to be negotiated, or you tell them what your prices are and what to expect. In my area, it was cleaning. So they knew the price, because I did a walkthrough before we ever cleaned that house. I have my sheet that I created, and it's online as well. And we took that sheet. It was a walkthrough sheet. It had every room in it, from the kitchen to the front door to the back porch to the washroom, and every room in that house. And we checked off what needed to be done. I would send that to the client first, and the client can put on it what they wanted. And then I came and I did the walkthroughs myself. If they had pets, I made note of it. If they had cats, I made note of, all of that. If they had children, because you need to know what kind of products to bring in the house. If they had children, people with laryngitis, I used a different type of product. It was just a lot that you needed to know prior to going in, and then you could give them a price rather than you send that sheet and then you go. You walk into a rude awakening. It'd be totally different when you get there. It was nothing like the sheet came back.
Amen.
You learn from your trials and tribulations that you need to go do that walkthrough. Today, we still do move out cleans for people moving out of apartments. Realtors will call us. They want a house flipped and they want it clean. We go do a walkthrough because what they tell you don't always be true. So you want to know what you're walking into. One time we walked into a house that was full of junk. We had to clean it out. No one told us. So from that day forward, we knew that we need to do a walkthrough on all those properties. That way you can better give them a price of what it's going to cost to do that make ready or flip that house for them.
Wow. That's so true. I mean, very true. To be honest, I think that is, you have to don't reduce your standard because you're trying to get business. I guess that is the word. Like a business has standard, and everybody that wants to come on or wants to be a part of what it is that you do. For example, my talk show, right? We have, I mean, people have to sign their guest release form. People have to do things appropriately. It's a talk show, right? And so you cannot, people shouldn't be trying to skip, a step. It's just what it is. And you shouldn't try to reduce it just so that you can get people on. In my opinion, I think that is so true. And I think I normally struggled with that. Like I used to struggle with that a little bit, but then I had to tell myself, this is a business. A business has procedures. A business has standards. And, once you make your standard known to people and they're not willing to be on board with you, that's okay.
That's right.
That's okay. So real quick, I'm just going to ask one more question, well, two more questions, but we're going to go as quickly as possible, just touching on the most important thing. My first question is, what is more precious to you guys as a part-time CEO and as a full-time CEO, time or money, and why?
Well, to me, it's my time, because my time is my money. And if you waste it, I make no money. And that's the bottom line.
Yes.
Sean, what about you?
She couldn't have said it better. I couldn't have said it better myself. She held it right there. My time is very valuable. Money, again, time. My time. I can make my money with my time.
Right.
Money. Time is more important. It's the most important thing to me.
Amen. Okay, that was pretty quick. Okay, so if there was one place, how can one find, a business mentor or, some form of business guide, to help them through their journey? I mean, granted, eventually I'm going to have my mentorship program, but, where can someone go to find the mentors that they need to be able to step up in their journey or step up in their, help them step up in their business and all? Sure.
Well, I am a mentor to many. I mentor a lot of people. Actually, my master's degree is in entrepreneurship. So I mentor quite a few ladies. Mostly, I have one lady that I'm mentoring now in San Antonio, Texas. I have several ladies that I mentor here in the Austin, Pflugerville area. But if anyone was looking for a mentor, go out on those sites that you see. Black Austin, Black Houston, Black Dallas. Those people out there, they're all entrepreneurs. And just ask if anybody would like to be a mentor. You need to also interview for your mentors. You don't want just anybody. So if it's someone that's in that arena that you're looking for, I would start there. So if it's photography that you want to mentor in, then you ask Sean if he has time, because he may not have time. He may already be mentoring 3 people. And so usually those people can refer you to someone else.
That makes sense to me. Sean, what about you?
Just to piggyback on what she just said, and also as we mentioned earlier in the show, the power of social media.
Mm-hmm.
LinkedIn.
Uh-oh.
I can
LinkedIn.
in my full time full 9 to 5 industry of agile. I've literally found about 4 or 5 different mentors when I first got in there through LinkedIn. You know, just go out and it has literally has their credentials on there. You can look through what
Mm-hmm.
they've done, their work, their certifications, and don't be shy just to connect with them and just ask them. Just like she said, ask them. And
Yeah.
Instagram too. If you're in the the photography industry, or whether you're a model or a makeup artist or whatever, my work is being displayed over there. So if you want to
Right.
reach out to me, it's just a easy follow, send me a message. And even
Mhm.
if you don't get a response back, try and move on to somebody else. But the power
Right.
of social media is big. And I think a lot of people don't seem to understand. We have so much information at the tip of our fingers, just a click of a button. You know, reach out to people on there. I advise people to try and be on as much platforms, or if anything, use Facebook, Instagram, and
Right.
LinkedIn if you're in the business world. It's pretty powerful, and it's something that can help drive your success, whatever it is you're trying to do. So
Wow. Okay. So I have one more question, but I
okay.
have to make it really quick. Okay. So the question that I have is a lot of people say, I don't want to overwhelm people on social media by what I post. I don't want to post every day. I don't want to overwhelm them, with my live videos and everything. But what do you guys say? Sean, what do you say?
Well, I'm releasing a social media Instagram course at some point on how to boost traffic. So I don't want to give too much information,
Right.
but I'll don't post every day. That's too much. You want to keep it at least every other day, so at least 3 to 4 times a week. Let's use Instagram for example. There's so many ways you can use to drive traffic, and if you really want to communicate with your current following as much as possible without having to post pictures, do live. You can do live. You can do story posting it. You can post every single day on your stories. Those are only 24 hours. You don't have to bombard everybody on your timeline with stuff that you're doing. Uh, Interaction is key when it comes to social media. Hence the word social. You have to learn how to be social. You have to go out there. You have to communicate. You don't necessarily have to post, but at the same time, go communicate, comment in somebody's picture, go comment in somebody's story, just so you're engaging. You know, once you have your engagement up, the algorithm of the app starts to trickle traffic towards your specific page. So be social. Don't
Yeah.
post too much, but be as social as you can.
Right.
Sharon, what about you? I'm seeing you say yes to everything. Come on.
I love social media, and I will post until I'm blue in the face. Just because social media is social media, and that's what it is. And anything that I do that I think other people need to see, like for instance, if I go out and get a contract, I'm so super excited about it. I want to share it. I do. And
Right.
I also I share it on my page. I share it on their page. Being that I started the mentoring program where I teach other notaries, other notaries to become signing agents, and I teach the public to become notaries. Well, I created a page so that I wouldn't bombard everybody with it. So I created a page for those people that want to become notaries. It's called I Want to Be a Notary, a Texas notary. Even if it's not Texas, some of the laws apply in some of the same states and some of them don't. But the page is I Want to Be a Notary. It's a group page on Facebook. And so those people that want to know what's going on in the notary world can go there, and I post to it just as often as I do to social media to give them updates on when the next class is coming, what you get when you sign on to be a notary, those type of things. And then the other page is called Texas Notaries. You have to already be a notary, or you have taken my notary class, or you're scheduled to take my notary class. And those people are on that page, and I keep them updated as well about what's going on. I post the pictures from the class we had just yesterday. 15 ladies graduated from a signing agent class on yesterday. So they're ready to go out and make some mad money.
Amen. Amen. All right, my dear guests. I'm going to ask you guys to come on and just give your final thoughts. I'm going to start with Sean. Give your final thoughts on bossing up, stepping up, to the audience and the listeners. Go ahead.
Uh, Man, I don't have much time. I'll just simply tell your listeners, whatever it is that you're trying to do, don't ever give up. Even though that sounds cliche, just understand that take your failures and your mistakes as a learning process. Don't ever look down on yourself. Don't have a negative attitude about it. Just continue to push yourself. Understand that you are going to fail. Understand that you are going to make mistakes. Eventually, that's going to get you to the path where you want to get to. At the same time, enjoy the process. Don't think too much about the final destination, but enjoy getting there. I think that will help you progress faster, help you enjoy the situation, not get burnt out at all. So don't give up. Don't stop doing what you're doing, and continue to step up as much as you can. So,
Amen. Sheri, go ahead.
Yes. So my last thought is just do your research on your business if you're trying to start one. And if you have one, always think about adding to your business because it's only going to enhance it and it's going to make your net worth a little bit bigger. Don't let anyone talk you out of the vision that you have set for yourself. It's your vision, and other people will see it a whole lot different than what you do. So boss up and be the boss that you can be and you will be.
Guys,
well said.
I know they said it all. I mean, that's all I have for today. And I want to thank my sister skipper Nadia. Thank you so much for putting on this whole show. You're always a sister skipper, always has been, always will be. I want to thank Try by Ann for this blazer that I got, coming on here and putting on this whole show. I just want to thank everyone for listening and hanging with us. I want to wish each and every one of you a great weekend. I mean, we still have Sunday, so we still have another day. So take care of yourself, guys. Have a blessed day and stay stepping up. Bye.
Bye bye. Thank you.